I'm John Henneberger of Texas Housers. I'm going to be your guide in this course on attacking the roots of injustice. Our homes and communities suffer injustices of many different types, like the lack of affordable homes, bad landlords, displacement, and housing discrimination. As housing and neighborhood advocates, we work to fix these things, but the number of challenges can overwhelm us. This course explores how we can be more effective advocates. We'll learn that instead of trying to take on dozens of problems, we can have more success if we instead attack their root causes. We'll learn from a group of veteran Houston community leaders who discovered the 4 root sources of the injustices that plague their homes and neighborhoods. This let them shift from engaging on multiple issues to focusing on those 4 root causes. And as a result, their advocacy on these underlying problems won tens of millions of dollars in housing and neighborhood improvements. They've also secured a seat at the table with city officials, where they have a say in deciding how the city treats their homes and neighborhoods. For many years, I stood beside Houston community activists on their journey to one of the most important discoveries for homes and neighborhoods in Texas. They uncovered the 4 root causes of neighborhood and housing problems. There are 3 lessons in this course. In the first lesson, we'll compile a list of the injustices you see in your community. In the second lesson, we'll analyze those problems and link them back to their root causes. In the final lesson, we'll discover how to attack these roots of injustice. So let's get started with lesson number 1. For almost a decade, a dozen Houston community leaders have met each week to discuss the issues facing their homes and neighborhoods. Texas Housers helps them research these problems and solutions. Each leader's neighborhood experiences more than a dozen serious problems. All are important, and all need solutions. But the large number of neighborhood and housing problems was overwhelming the leaders. They needed to find a more efficient way to overcome these many problems. The critical insight was discovering a recurring pattern in the injustices across all of their neighborhoods and experiences getting a good, affordable place to live. In other words, they were each experiencing the same basic injustices in their personal lives and in their neighborhoods. The injustices, shown as leaves on a tree, were popping up in each of their neighborhoods. The leaders figured that these dozens of different injustices were all stemming from common roots. And we'll talk more about the roots in the next lesson. The leaders decided they needed to focus on attacking the root causes rather than exhausting and frustrating themselves fighting the many different symptoms. So consider this tree. The dozens of injustices we experience in homes and neighborhoods are the leaves on the tree. The leaves grow because the roots are there to feed them. You can spend all of your time trimming back the leaves over and over again, or you can solve the problem forever by cutting the roots. When you cut the roots, the leaves wither and die. When you cut out the underlying causes of injustice in homes and neighborhoods, you eliminate the myriad of different problems that they produce. This simple insight was the key to the extraordinary success of the community leaders in Texas. Now it's time for you to go to work on the 2 assignments posted on the course page below this lesson. It's up to you to come up with a list of injustices affecting your home and community. For assignment number 1, you'll review a long list of injustices the Houston community leaders made that are affecting their neighborhoods. Check the box next to each injustice on their list that you see in your neighborhood. In assignment number 2, you'll review another list of injustices the Houston community leaders saw affecting their homes and the homes of other families with low incomes in Houston. Check the box next to any injustice affecting people's homes in your neighborhood and city. To review, in assignment number 1, you check off injustices in your neighborhood. In assignment number 2, you check off injustices affecting people's homes. We'll use the results of your work in part 2 of the course. In lesson 1, we explored the idea that problems in our homes and neighborhoods stem from just a few roots. We can have more success if we uncover and cut out roots than by always trying to trim back the leaves of injustice. When you've completed both assignments and when you're ready, you can move on to part 2 of this course, where we'll look for those root causes. I'll see you in part 2.